So the things you pick up and use when you're out here making your living off the street, pretty cool, man. Like, I definitely needed a tarp and like a yoga mat. Now, I'm bummed out, right? Because I'm like, just delete it. Delete all the guitar you got on your phone. I'm like, no, I don't want to delete any of it. But I got to freaking make room on my phone because my comedy act is just coming all forth right now, like, as we speak, man. I mean, my brain's just firing on all cylinders, man. I'm coming up with jokes. And I want to save these jokes, like, right now. Like, this bench right here, these benches in New York. There's a couple in Boston, but they're wooden ones. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing like these. These are like that rack that you can go on, that you can buy and hang upside down to get your back to, like realign and crack. Like, these things are sick. Like, if you can get somebody to hold your foot, like your feet up to it so that you can relax your legs, you know what I mean? You can hang upside down and get your back to crack and shit, which I did earlier. I was like, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, someone's gonna look at you and be like, look at this fucking bum, all drunk or whatever, obviously on some sort of drugs. Look at him, he's rolling around on the bench, he's lost it. Probably gonna fall asleep on the bench again and get his fucking $990 something Paul Reed Smith stolen from him. Along with, a badass Marshall amp and that whole setup, because why? He was tired from working really hard. And he fell asleep for a little while. Oh, here's that other 100. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. His wallet just dumped all over the ground with all that trash. He just lives in trash. Like a homeless bum. I had a cop tell me the other day, and they were giving me charges on bullshit for using my amp. How do you not use that amp, by the way? How do you not use that? Using my amp on the street. I'm like, yeah. I play electric guitar. That's what I fucking do. So I figure I'm going to use it electrically. Like you would, with an amp. Anyways, I beat that case, by the way. But look at him. He's all fucked up. He dumped all his... But anyways, yeah, the things you pick up. Like fake $100 bills. Right? Like this fake 100. That guy, I think, wants us to vote for him or something. I got this fake 100. People already did, or maybe wanted to vote for that guy. I don't know. I think that's Joe Biden, creepy Uncle Joe or something like that. I think that's who that is. I don't know. Or was it? It's fucking Ben Franklin. I figured it was like a Joe Biden bill. Like, hey, I did not do whatever the hell it is those creepy things. Wasn't me. No, I know, somebody that had the same clearance as me, hangs out with the same people I do, looks just like me, and likes to touch people when they shouldn't be doing anything like that. Anyways, I'm just having a fucking great time out here, man. I forget how much I really do like this city when I come out here. I fucking, you know what I mean? Always have a blast, People don't generally run away with my equipment when, you know what I mean? Like, so like, because the dude saw me pass out for like, a couple of minutes, stole my shit. I'm not bitter, it was me, but it's like, I work the street, you know what I mean? Sometimes the street works me. That's what it's all about. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just, having a blast. But I was like, man, I need to save this shit, make it go viral so I can get famous. And I'm like, yeah, I realize getting famous that's not anything I want. Not necessarily. I don't do those things. Why? Would I do those things if all of a sudden I was famous? I don't know. Sounds to me like I don't even like answering my phone fucking after 6 o'clock, really, on like a work night. I couldn't imagine everybody wanting to fucking talk to me. Get the fuck out of here. Famous shit. I'm having a fucking blast out here, man. Just when you can spend, 10, 15, fucking 24 hours at a time on your craft and just be able to like get to these points where, and it's like, no, obviously I don't want to do a 3-day long show for anybody. I don't want to do a 6-hour fucking concert, man. I want to pick all that All that badass stuff, man, that I've been trying to catch on video, but hey, I've been deleting it by the fucking, just so I could do, so I guess maybe I'm wasting time. What else was it? I was like, yeah, things you pick up on the street, this umbrella, my Illuminati umbrella. It really is, I think it really is. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, Illuminati. The Illuminati. They'll get you. It's like, fucking, dude, whatever that is, if that is, which I'm sure, like, it's not like George Carlin said, it's not like rich and powerful people don't get together and make a plan. Right? And you can call it whatever you want to call it, but, hey, there's people that can walk into the wrong house, blast somebody, get 10 years, not even be in handcuffs on the way, and then there's other people that are not part of that team. People like Schaefer Cox, and if you guys don't know who Schaefer Cox is, just take a look. Go over to High Impact Flicks and take a look at who Schaefer Cox is. I ain't going to get into it. Probably hit the YouTube algorithms right now by using his name, and then my video, no matter what, wouldn't be able to get monetized or anything like that. YouTube has the way they censor people. Now listen, y'all can say whatever you want. Now obviously if you believe everything you hear, then you're in for a hell of a fucking time in this in this life. You know what I mean? But that being said, there are plenty of things that definitely are going on that fucking just ain't right, and it ain't right from any angle. So you say, how does this happen? How could it be happening when always on the surface it's no, we wouldn't do, you know what I mean? And that's when I say things like that, I just mean things like just not giving a fuck about your kids and your kids' kids, obviously, and you want to make a huge deal about climate change, you know what I mean? In the carbon footprint and all that nonsense. Well, hey, flying around in a fucking private jet, if there is a such thing as a carbon footprint, flying around in a fucking private jet, I'm sure it leaves a hell of a lot more of a footprint than, and they use things like cow farts. Are you fucking kidding me? This place that we live in, okay, when we expel carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide comes up, I'm not saying the levels are not higher now than they were other times, but what does that really do? Does it heat up? Does it? Because I don't think the science has actually been necessarily proven that it does heat up. And they use terms like global warming. Oh, wait a minute, no, climate change. Because people say, it's not getting warmer. Well, it's getting colder. Well, it's kind of getting, well, it's not, well, we can't really tell. We really don't know. And that's what the fuck it is. But you get people on one side that are like, why are you not doing something? Where's the action? Where's the outrage? People ain't doing anything about it. It's like, oh my God, we gotta do something. It's like, do what? Create more legislation and charge them for it. Charge them $90. That will, make it official. Well, you paid, so, fucking, we did something. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know, man. You ever just be in a real good mood? And look, could be from a lack of sleep. Could be just because I'm just fucking loving it, man. I'm loving it. I can't believe there's ever times where I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. Because at least for us that are, and I don't mean geographically, I mean for those of us that know that a lot of shit just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's two sides to a coin, and a lot of times that means that it's the same coin. You ever wonder why you only get really two sides? Yeah, there might be a few people like, oh no, we represent this group of people. But you get two sides. And you need to pick one of them. Because if you don't, then you're an asshole. And if you pick him, then you're an asshole. You can unfriend me if you like him, but, well, alright, I was an asshole. Because now I like him because he likes my kids, I think. So, Yeah, you're back welcome within my my little 5 people bubble. And it's like that. I think that's kind of why music sucks too. And so I'm not saying it all sucks, like there's plenty of us out here working our asses off to keep it as fucking badass and fresh as we can. But when you narrow down like your selection, when you narrow down what you listen to, what you are exposed to, when you narrow that down, you wind up having 5 bands that like the other 5 bands that you like, and they all start sounding the same kind of. You know what I mean? And this happens with a lot of bands. This happens with a lot of like genres of music where, you know, and genre, I don't even like that. We're gonna put you in a box. Yeah, well, no, that's jazz funk fusion. Don't you dare be calling that funk. Don't you be calling that funk without the fusion. We got the fusion in the but like, you know, it's 12 notes, baby. 12 of them. It's just 12 notes to me. You know? I listen to Frank Zappa, man. I am like, yo, that's some marching band shit. That really is. And I'm like, yeah, dummy, because there's only fucking 7 notes that we like. and the other ones we try to include so they don't feel bad, you know? Yeah. It ain't all that complicated, trust me. It ain't. A lot of things, as it turns out, really are not all that complicated. Looking at things like, guys like Tesla, Nikola Tesla. And there is a theory in the world that a lot of these old buildings, you see old buildings where it looks like there's windows, tops of windows and doors at an underground level. You know, we believe that there are older structures that were built by older civilizations, like, you know what I mean? But they had electricity. You know, there's no necessarily mystery. Like, they fucking had power tools. They had power. They had it. And the world that we live in, no matter what shape it is, no matter where it is, goes through these things where shit just fucking gets broken down, baby. And we build shit is junk now. The stuff we build is junk. I mean, I've worked on houses that I've gone back and fucking had to you know what I mean? And it's not because they were done wrong. It's because the material is dirt. You know what I mean? So that's how when you look at things like, oh man, I'm gonna fucking draw blanks. But like, I know in Scotland, right? There's this huge castle, right? But it's built on at least 2 other ruins. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lower level and a lower level. And you can tell it's like, well, this is really this old and this is that old. And when they say things like, well, this is 5 million years old. That's 6.7 billion years old. Well, why? Because we dug down this deep and then there was these layers. I'm just saying, I don't know, you know, I'm not the smartest dude in the world, but I don't know how I really, you know what I mean? Like, what if it's not though? But what if it's not? What if, you know, you're based on like one solid, I want to say like, you know, a group of Egyptologists or something, but like one solid few people are like, no, it was definitely this, it was this, and that's what it was. And you can't go back on it now. You know what I mean? But it's like, but wait a minute, but what if it is wrong? You know what I mean? Like, what if those ruins that we see are actually not as old? You know what I mean? Like, the levels of strata are actually not as old. Like, how do you measure how old something is when you start getting that far back? Along with that far away, for that matter, space. Things are 6 billion, trillion, billion. So you're thinking in all these large, like, you can't fathom that. You can't think around that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so there's things, hey man, don't believe everything fucking here and see, because some of it is a fucking smoke screen. Why? They think there's too many of us in the world. They probably know for a fact that resources get real fucking tight fucking around a certain time, every time. That is the knowledge is power that people probably possess, that don't want